Today we'll start the explanation of March 2020 College Board SAT test. So we'll do first 5 question explanation today, right? As you know the SAT structure and everything, so I don't think I need to explain you all that thing, right? So let's start from the second third. Right, okay, that is the question number 1. So if you see this question, you know this is the table given to us and we have given some words there. You don't need to understand what the words are there, right? Just check at the table x values are given. With respect to that, y values are also given. The question is asking which of the following equation shows the possible relationship between x and y. Okay. Now the good way to solve this question is, right, what you can do, you just choose the number from the table and you can just plug in those number into the answer choices, right? That is a good effort, right? And that will give you the answer also. But the thing is, sometimes what happen, you take the number, so easy number, suppose if you are taking -1, the only the first numbers there, it may give you the 2 answer choices correct, right? Then you need to put the effort again. So it's always better to take the extreme number for the plugin. So extreme numbers are x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 5, right? So what we'll do, first of all you plug in x is equal to 3 in the answer choices and check from which answer choices you are getting y is equal to 5. So if you put x is equal to 3 in the first one, you are getting 5, very good. But as you are doing the plugin, you need to check all the answer choices there, because sometimes maybe you'll get the 2 answer choices. Those are as same as giving the, if you put x is equal to 3, y is equal to 5. Check the b also. So b is not giving you, so if this is 3 minus 2, it is giving you 1, but it should be 5. Eliminate. Then the third c is 2 times 3 minus 5. So this will again plus 3. This is 9. D, again you can eliminate it. D is y is equal to 3x minus 2. So if you multiply 3 times 3 minus 2, that is 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. Again you can eliminate that. So what we get? We get y is equal to x plus 2 as our answer. Okay, so the tip for this question is, always try to plug in extreme values to the answer choices from the table. Okay, hope you understood this question. Now let's move to the next question. This is the question number 2. If you see it, what is it saying? We have a figure there, right? And if you look at the question, what is given to us in the figure shown, line J is parallel to line K and line L is parallel to line M. What is the value of x? Okay, so actually there are 2 parallel lines like line L and line M. Again there are 2 parallel lines, line K and line J, right? What you need to find? You need to find the value of x. Okay, you have given the 2 angles also. This angle is 40 degree, this angle is 80 degree. Okay, the one thing, if you see this figure, definitely it may confuse you, because there are 2 parallel lines and the transversal lines are also parallel. Okay, but you need to go step by steps there. So the first is, if you know this is 40-degree angle, so this is also the 40-degree. You can say the vertical opposite angle VOA, right? Now if you see this angle is also 40-degree, because these two are the parallel line. J and K are parallel line, right? So this angle is 40-degree, so this will also the 40-degree. Now if you see this, the third step is L and M are also parallel line, so this is 40-degree, so this will also 40-degree, right? Why? Because these are alternate interior angles, right? So those angles will be equal. Okay, so what is your answer for the X? We got X is equal to 40-degree. Now let's move to the question number 3, and the question is asking the function f is defined by fx is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6, and what is the value of f of 4? Okay, so that means we have given the function there, fx is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6, right? So what we need the value of f of 4. Okay, so that means we'll need output when the input x is equal to 4 in the function, right? So you can just substitute the x is equal to 4 there. So what will be that? 4 square minus 5 times 4 plus 6. This will be 16 minus 20 plus 6. This is 22 minus 20. That will be 2. Do we have the 2 as answer? Yes, you have, and that's your answer. So you get f of 4 as equal to 2, right? This question number 4. So here what? There are so many words there. You need to read the questions, right? You need to read this question, okay? But you can quickly read that. Like, what is it saying? Arkley can spend up to a total of $20 on streamers and balloons for a party. Streamers cost 1.49 per pack and the balloon cost 4.39 per pack. Which of the following inequalities represent this situation where x is the number of packs of the streamer Arkley can buy and b is the number of pack of balloons Arkley can buy? Okay, and this is also given, assume there is no sale tax, right? So first of all, how many pack are there for the streamer? S. So if there are S packets, so what will be the cost of those S packets? Because the cost of the one packet is 1.4, so the cost of S packet will be 1.49 times S. Now what is next? Yeah, there are B number of packs for the balloon also. So what is the cost of the one pack of balloon? That is $4.39. So for the B pack of balloon, the cost is 4.39 times B. And as we know in the starting only, he can only spend $20, right? If he can only spend on $20, that means, what does that mean? That means the value of the total pack of the streamer and the value of total pack of the balloons should be less than equal to 20. Do we have this answer choices? This as answer choices? Yes, we have. Yes, the B is the answer, right? Yeah, yes, B is the answer. That's the answer. Okay, hope you understand. It was very straightforward question, right? So you just need to check, okay, what is the cost of the one packet and what will be the cost of the S packet of the streamer, right? Same goes with what is the cost of the one packet of balloon, and so what will be the cost of the B packets of balloon, and if we combine the cost, that should be equal to less than 20. Right, so this is very easy question. Right, we just need to translate the words into the math. Right, now the question number 5 there. See this question. What is this? Again, we have few words there, but definitely we need to convert that into the mathematics. What is given to us? B is planning to drive 1000 miles to visit his family. If he plans to drive 250 miles per day, which of the following represents the remaining distance D in miles that Bill will have to drive to reach his family after driving for n days, right? So what is given to us? That Bill need to drive 1000 miles. You can write down here some words. Bill need to drive 1000 miles, right? What we know there, he drives 250 miles per day. Okay, if he drives for n day, so how many miles he'll drive? He'll drive 250 times n, right? So after he drive for the n day, how much miles he need to more drive? The remaining distance, right? What is the remaining distance there? So remaining distance D will be the total distance minus distance traveled in n days. So that is equal to 1000 minus 250 times n. So this is equal to D is equal to 1000 minus 250 times n. So that's the answer. Do you hear this as the answer choices? Yes, it will be. Yeah, yes, D is the answer, right? So we got the D as the answer. Okay, so we have discussed the first 5 questions. Now be updated. You can just subscribe our channel. You can just click on this bell icon. Right, this is our first video, right? But definitely we will try to put the videos every day, at least 4 or 5 questions in each day. We'll discuss the previous college board test, and hopefully you like my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, right? Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.